25F from the Balkans. Father constantly pressures me to leave home and marry someone acceptable, and I'm exhausted. I'm a 25/F from the Balkans. I work as a software developer, and I'm currently learning German because I plan to move abroad for better opportunities. My salary isn't high, but I can technically afford to move out. I just wouldn't be able to save anything. I still live with my parents. My father, 53M, is an emigrant in Greece. Almost every day when he is home, there's shouting. He complains about small things, yells at my brother, and constantly pressures me to go to my husband's house, even though I'm not married. Yesterday, I overheard him speaking badly about me to his sister. She was literally telling him to yell at us and push us out of the house. I haven't even seen this woman in years, yet she feels entitled to comment on my life. On top of that, my father wants me to date and marry men with the same mentality as him, traditional, controlling, very rigid views about women. I don't want that. I want to marry someone I genuinely like and am in love with. I don't want to rush into marriage just because I'm 25. Relatives have been pressuring me for years. Since I was 20, they've been asking about marriage directly, commenting on my age, acting like I'm late. It's exhausting. I feel like I'm constantly defending my timeline. Yesterday I snapped. I yelled at my father at the top of my lungs. I was extremely angry and hurt. I know yelling isn't productive, but I felt pushed into a corner, loudly crying face, loudly crying face, loudly crying face. I cry often when he's home because the tension is constant. I feel guilty about possibly moving out because I have a good relationship with my mom, but mentally I'm drained. I guess my question is moving out the right decision, even if it means no savings for a while? And how do I handle cultural/family pressure without completely destroying the relationship? Too long did not read. I'm a 25F from the Balkans, being pressured by my father and relatives to marry and move out, but I want to marry for love and focus on my career. The constant pressure and shouting at home are exhausting me, and I'm considering moving out even if it means no savings. Plan to move to your own place. Live your own life the way you want to. Just because you're related to someone doesn't mean you have to like them. Yes, moving out is absolutely the right decision. If you can afford to move out, that might be an investment in your mental health. Peace has value. My husband is struggling mentally, and I feel lost. I'm a 27F married to my 32M husband, and lately I just feel lost. We've been together for 6 years and married for 1. When we first met, he struggled with anxiety for the first time. He had just started his first real adult job, and it overwhelmed him. I supported him through that period, and his friends later told me I came into his life at exactly the right time, that I was the best thing that could have happened to him. After that, we had some really good years. He would usually feel down during the winter and happier in the summer, but it was manageable and didn't affect me too much. Over the past 2 years, though, something has shifted. The sadness lasts much longer now. He's someone who constantly has a lot on his mind. Unfinished trauma, guilt about not being the partner he wants to be, worries about work. His mind never really rests. About 2.5 years ago, he told me he had an alcohol problem. I had no idea. He hid it very well. But to his credit, he immediately sought professional help and is still getting help today. I truly see that he's trying. I know he wants to be better. What's hard for me is that I feel completely helpless. I try everything I can to make him smile or feel lighter. I sit next to him, suggest we watch something together, try to be close. But most days, he just wants to lie in bed alone and sit in his sadness. He doesn't really want comfort. He wants to be alone in it. And that's where I start to break a little. Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually helping at all, or if my presence just adds to his guilt, like he feels bad for not being able to show up for me the way he wants to. I've even caught myself thinking that maybe I should leave, because maybe without the pressure of being a husband, he'd feel lighter. My family tells me this is just part of marriage, that neither partner can be at 100% all the time, and sometimes one has to carry more than the other. I understand that in theory, but for a while it feels more like 80/20ths, and I'm the one holding the 80. They also remind me that I'm lucky to have a husband who truly loves me and wants to be the best partner he can be. They see that he's struggling mentally right now, but they also see that he's trying. And I do see that too. I think what makes this harder is that I didn't grow up seeing healthy relationships. I don't really know what normal looks like. Because the truth is, he is a good man. He's deeply caring. He wants the best for me. That's never been in doubt. I just don't know where the line is between supporting someone through a difficult chapter and slowly losing yourself in the process. I love him. I see him trying, but I feel lost. How should I proceed, and has anyone been in a situation like this? What did you do? Too long did not read, : My husband has struggled with anxiety and depression for years and is in recovery for alcohol use. He's trying and is a good, loving man, but lately he's emotionally withdrawn and spends most days in sadness and alone. I feel helpless, like I'm carrying most of the relationship, and I'm scared I'm losing myself while trying to support him. I don't know where the line is between standing by your partner and slowly breaking down yourself. Alcohol was self-medicating. He needs to go to a psychiatrist. Sad during winter and happy summer. Could be serious issues that need professional help. Should I continue being in a relationship where I feel alone? Too long did not read. I don't know if I should stay with a person I really love when I feel so emotionally alone. I, 26F, have been with my boyfriend, 28M, for just less than a year. We started seeing each other this time last year and made it official in May. We've had a bloody rough time of it though because his mom suddenly passed away in July. It was a really tough thing to deal with so early on in our relationship. I wanted to be there for him the best I could, but grief is a complicated thing, and it's hard to know what behaviors are a part of someone grieving or are aspects of their personality when you don't know the person fully. I have been there for him throughout, when he's needed space and when he's needed me by his side. When it all happened, it was obviously very intense, and I put my own needs aside because in my opinion his situation took a massive priority. The problem is now I feel like it set the tone, and I now feel as though my needs are often overlooked. I now feel like I'm not a priority ever. It's only been a few months, I don't expect him to be over it, but I don't feel prioritized at all. I don't feel like I'm in a partnership with him. I feel alone. We live an hour and a half away from each other, and we get to see each other once a week. But mostly it's me going to his house. He doesn't come to mine very often, and if he does he is never in the best mood. It's never very relaxing when he comes to mine because I feel as though he's not enjoying himself. Another issue is him being bad at replying. If he's had a bad day at work, I can expect no reply. If he's got a day off work, I don't get message. I have brought this up to him and said I don't like not hearing from you, but then he continues to do it. What's the point of communicating issues if nothing changes? I don't want him to constantly text me, but when it's 24 hours with nothing from him it hurts. If we lived closer I wouldn't mind, but we're sort of long distance, so it makes me feel connected to hear from him somewhat regularly. I sometimes worry I expect too much from him, but then I also think I'm not asking for much. We talked about Valentine's Day, and neither of us care to make it a big deal, but I said I'd like some flowers. I'm also working Valentine's Day. He said a couple of weeks ago that he'd come to my work and sit at the bar until I finished. This week I asked if he still was up for that, and he said he can't now. His reason being that he's had to pay £1,000 for his car this week for its MOT, and he can't afford it. He is very strict with his money, but it's only about £10 on the train. I get very disappointed when people say they're going to do something and then don't do it. If the train costed a bomb and he didn't have money, I'd feel a bit more understanding. But I know he has plenty of money. I know other people have different standards to me, but I'm a student so I don't have much money and have spent money to go see him endlessly. I'm pretty relaxed about money, but I would say I spend more than him to go and see him even though I earn less. I now won't see him probably until March because I have a busy work week next week. I don't want him to feel forced to come up because I don't enjoy it when I feel like people don't want to do it for themselves. He did apologize when he said he's not coming, but it just hurts. I feel so lonely in our relationship. I have tried really hard to communicate gently and kindly, but nothing changes. I really love him. He's so stimulating when we're together, and sometimes I feel like he's really trying his best, but then when we're apart I feel so alone, and like I don't even have a boyfriend. I feel incredibly confused too, because I was once a person who didn't take any crap off others and held people accountable. Now I feel like I'm constantly being empathetic with his needs, and I don't get anything in return. I can't tell if it's me not having clear boundaries, or if I'm expecting too much, but this loneliness speaks for itself. I keep neglecting how I feel and not trusting it because I think I'm asking too much. I also don't know how to communicate how I feel. I don't want to upset him. I do think he cares, but I can't keep feeling so alone. I just don't know what to do at all. Any advice is welcome. If nothing changes after multiple calm conversations, that is your answer. Communication only works when people adjust. Girl, I feel like I could have written this. No advice because we'll same. LOL. Honestly though, why are we putting up with men who act like this? My friend, M26, has a serial problem of not sticking to a meet and I, M27, AMD really suffering emotionally and what to do. So as the title says, I, M27, met my friend, M26, about 6 months ago on a dating app, originally with the intent on going on a date with. We hit it off really well and have a lot of similar interests and vibe really well, which is very rare for me, especially anyone with my interest, as I'm really the black sheep of my friend group. We are both autistic as well for clarity, but on the high functioning end for what it's worth. However, because he is very busy at work, he had to cancel, and at first I was understanding. However, it kept going on every time we planned, and eventually Christmas hit, and I asked if he just wanted to be friends, and he was like that's easier for now, and that he won't know when he would be ready to. I agreed, and to be honest, Eve been on dates since, so I'm not hung up on it. So skip forward to today where we have the chance to meet in total, because we are at the same place, like for 2-3 hours, and I asked a few days before if he wanted to. He said yes, that'd be cool, and got all excited to meet him, and well, it didn't happen. He ignored me zespit talking non-stop all day when I asked, and then left. And when I say I had an emotional breakdown and my friend, who I was with, said it looked like my face broke and I was having an internal breakdown. I just feel so hurt, like I'm a very emotional lover of my friends and I do really care for him despite not having met IRL. But when I said to him I was real upset, I don't think he took it on and just kept texting and was like I'm very busy and I just feel so forgettable. My friend says he's a waste man and not to bother being friends, but like I genuinely believe he is busy. Everything always checks out, and having autism myself I get it being hard. But then I also constantly offer to come to him, go out of my way, and I think he sees that as burdensome. Any advice on how to move forward? I feel mean if I withdraw, but also want to protect my own peace over something as simple as seeing a friend. TL. Dr. guy I've never met IRL seemingly avoids me, but I think life is shit. However, I'm not sure if I call it quits. He's repeatedly letting you down, and that's not about being busy anymore. Stop expecting him to show up. Your emotional energy is too valuable to keep burning on someone who consistently flakes.